state tax and spend policies can be a guide to policies the federal government should adopt to revive the U.S. economy. Jonathan Williams from the American Legislative Exchange Council has this American Radio Journal commentary.
Well, the 50 states, the laboratories of democracy, have shown that real policy solutions to real policy problems are free market solutions that seek to limit or reduce the role of the big government in the lives of hardworking American taxpayers. August 23rd begins the first of the presidential debates of the 2024 cycle, and the next president, Republican or Democrat, should look to the states for a vision of what a prosperous America could look like. In short, how does America emulate the success of the states that are our economic powerhouses like Texas and Florida, while avoiding the same big government mistakes that states are making, like big government states like New York and California that are hemorrhaging Americans and businesses? For the economy, competitive pro-growth policy should be the goal. The best way to position the economy for growth is to reform and simplify the tax code and cut rates. And, of course, avoid the elimination and expiration of the Trump tax cuts, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that goes away if Congress does nothing by the end of 2025 for individuals. A simpler and more transparent, neutral, and predictable tax code, principles that are in line with the ALEC principles of taxation, will allow Americans to keep more of their hard-earned dollars. But taxes are just one side of the fiscal coin. Getting spending in check is crucial for economic growth. Engaging in more of a priority-based budgeting system like states have can help Congress choose which government programs are essential and which can and should be cut in many cases. In addition, adding spending restraints that require a balanced budget and limit the federal government's budget growth can help ensure that spending is kept in control for the future as well. After all, 49 of the 50 states have some sort of a balanced budget requirement in their state law or their state constitution, with Indiana being the most recent state to add what could be the most taxpayer-friendly balanced budget requirement in America just several years ago. In education, the status quo has been used as a one-size-fits-all model for decades that assigns students to a public school based on nothing more than a zip code in many cases. The result is that many students get trapped in public school that is simply not the best for them. Today, a number of states have greatly expanded the options available to families when it comes to their students' education. This includes breaking down regulatory barriers to homeschooling, permitting microschooling, authorizing more charter schools, and modifying state law that education dollars can follow students, not systems, in the form of Universal Education Scholarship Accounts, ESAs, now that nearly 10 states in the last several years have adopted. The states have been beacons of what free market, limited government policy solutions look like. Just in the last several years, a total of 21 states have cut personal income taxes, with several making cuts several times, not to mention the 9 states that have no personal income tax whatsoever. In 2022, we saw the revitalization of Steve Forbes' flat tax revolution, with 5 states making the switch to a flat personal income tax from a progressive income tax. Already in 2023, we've seen 10 states pass personal income tax reductions, and they are proving to be a bipartisan move as Democrat governors and legislatures are passing tax cuts as well. The only way for this to continue, however, is for the federal government to stop its war on federalism. An agenda from the current Biden administration that worked to federalize elections, prevent states from cutting taxes if they took the federal bailout money, and disallowing right-to-work laws hampers Americans' prosperity. What is needed to enhance real federalism is far more than rhetoric. A national discussion on the need to devolve significant federal functions back to the state and local level, as our founders intended, will be essential for the next administration. Post-COVID-19 America is ready for free market, limited government policy solutions. After the federal fiscal policy fiasco of the last several years, with out-of-control government spending, a debt now at $32.5 trillion, runaway inflation, and the increase in burdensome regulations, the next president, Republican or Democrat, owes Americans an agenda in pursuit of more individual freedom and prosperity for all. As our ALEC Rich States, Poor States report annually documents, the best way to do that is look to the states where the 50 laboratories of democracy continue to deliver bold, free market, pro-taxpayer stories to emulate. For more information on state-based ideas that will help bring real policy solutions at the federal level, visit ALEC.org and richstatesforstates.org. For American Radio Journal, I'm Jonathan Williams.